Welcome back. This is part 2 of chapter 86, Those Who Move in the Dark. If you liked it, then subscribe to the channel for more content. Let's get into it. In an unknown land of perpetual night, into a deep burial chamber, a single beautiful silver-haired girl ventured. Her name was Rumina's Valentine. She is the ruler of this land and a demon lord known as the Queen of Darkness. Inside a chamber sealed behind Rumina's powerful barrier sleeps her beloved girl inside a coffin of Holy Spirit energy. There were few people who could venture this far and no one who could dispel her barrier. Or at least there should have been no one. Her heart throbbing loudly, she proceeded towards the girl's burial chamber. And the moment she entered, she noticed that something was off. The chamber had been disturbed, and there's a leftover smell of another human along with that of her beloved girl. It was faint, but her vampire nose could not be deceived. But that was a trivial fact. Hidden within the burial chamber, the coffin of Holy Spirit energy had been erased. Confused for the first time in her life, she couldn't accept what she was seeing. As a demon lord, Ruminas thought this situation completely impossible. But, her logical part winning over, she was able to recognize the situation at hand. No matter how much she wanted to emotionally reject what she was seeing, calm reasoning displayed otherwise. That her beloved coffin had been stolen. And soon her expression turned to one of anger. While screaming her lungs out in anger, she released all her hidden magic energy. At the same moment, the burial chamber collapsed, forming a whirlpool of raging magic energy. One that no being could enter, a space of death itself. And separate from her displaying her anger, she was calmly analyzing the situation. Only she could break the barrier erected here. No, truth be told, ones like her. In other words, demon lords could dispel this barrier. Or perhaps those beings that could rival demon lords in power. And it had to have been someone who knew of the Holy Spirit coffin that was here. Otherwise, there was no need to enter. Moreover, they would be unable to achieve their goal while Ruminas was present. In other words, to take advantage of her absence, they had to know of the Walpurgis banquet. There's no way they invaded the moment she was away, Ruminas thought. If so, the culprit is the current 7 other demon lords. Should she also include the no longer demon lords too? But after thinking about each one of them, she couldn't find any grounds to suspect any of them. But wait a second, aren't I forgetting someone? She muttered. That was the currently dead demon lord, Clayman. He was so weak that she had already forgotten about him. What was that he said before he died? That cursed Lord Kazarim was now reborn or something. He wasn't a demon lord but someone that rivaled them. And if it's Kazarim, then he would probably know of the Walpurgis banquet from Clayman. And if that's the case, then his real objective was to acquire the coffin all along. He ordered Clayman to hold a Walpurgis banquet and sought to obtain the coffin in the meantime. So it didn't matter who called the Walpurgis banquet. He manipulated Clayman, thinking that if he managed to subjugate any of the participants, then that would be great. So if that's his real objective, then the rest was just for show. Rumina's anger turned redder as a sense of humiliation filled her heart. She was certain that her conjecture was correct. Anger towards he who stole her beloved, anger towards the demon lords who kept her away from home. She lamented the fact that she didn't want anyone to touch her beloved and thus kept all the guards away. But perhaps the guards would have not changed the outcome in the slightest. Whichever the case, unforgivable. I won't forgive you. When I find you, I'll tear you limb from limb. The dark ruins of the burial chamber were filled with the silver-haired girl's screams and her rampaging power. That anger was not at all like the time Veldora had turned her country to ash, as this time her own heart had been torn. And her unfulfilled lust caused Ruminas to change. Verified. Conditions have been fulfilled. Unique skill lust has evolved into ultimate skill lustful King Asmodeus. The voice of the world declared to the silent Ruminas. I don't care. I don't care about that, she shrieked. Evoking one of the ability skills, life and death. She was truly fortunate that there was no life in the near vicinity. In an unknown land of perpetual night resounded the never-ending screams of a silver-haired girl. That's it for this chapter. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.